The Dr. Disrespect scandal is playing out in real time. We almost talked about this yesterday, but I'm glad that we haven't touched on it yet because there was this huge development yesterday. Dr. Disrespect posted an entire explanation for his Twitch ban that took place 4 years ago. And he allegedly was messaging a minor with Twitch's Whisper feature at the time. And there was a lot of questioning. Are these accusations legitimate? A former Twitch employee was the one who broke this allegation to the public.
There was at the time, there was reason to push back because the dude was advertising his band. He was like buy tickets to my band.
He seemed like he was someone with a vendetta against Dr. Disrespect. And a lot of people thought that it was some kind of political targeting. I disagree with that now that we have all of the information. Because in this post, Dr. Disrespect very clearly admitted to what happened. He said, first and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday, and we made the painful decision to have me step down. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last couple years. What he's referring to there is he had a lawsuit with Twitch after his ban, and they reached a settlement, which means both parties were not allowed to disclose the real reason for his ban. But now we know because he disclosed it. He said, now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Here are the most important sentences. Were there Twitch Whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. So he's taking responsibility. He's owning up to what happened. But allegedly, those messages between himself and some minor on Twitch were about meeting up at TwitchCon. He was, at the time, planning to meet up with an underage girl at TwitchCon. Okay, that never happened because a Twitch employee found out and they were screening those messages, and that was the reason for his ban. No one knew until now, but this looks really bad for him. And I just don't think that people should be defending him after the truth has come out. I think it's really weird to see a lot of people replying to this and being like, hey man, it's okay. It's good that you're owning up to what you did. We can all move on now, whatever. When he literally just admitted that he was sexting a minor.
I mean, okay, so he aired, what did he say? What were the exact words of the statement? He said he aired on the side of
this is such deceptive wording because he's wording it without saying, I did this, I did that. He said, were there Twitch Whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Those are the only important words in this entire statement. That's why I'm not reading the rest of it. That is the truth, and he has admitted to it fully. That is the shocking reveal that we were all waiting for.
I mean, if the important context is it or not sexual, which obviously I'm thinking
they leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate.
I know, so that,
I'm saying that
which is his admission, because like messaging a minor like, do you like cheeseburgers is not
okay. Sure,
I know. I'm just a semantic game. Sorry.
But that's
obviously the fact that he's not talking about it, it's under investigation. Like, come on.
No, nothing criminal happened. That's the truth. That's why he was able to tweet just a few days ago, I wasn't found for any wrongdoing. Okay, but that's kind of obfuscating the real issue here. And he was merely stopped from meeting up with this person. So I just think it's really cringy to see a lot of people saying that this is an example of cancel culture.
Well, there was a lot of people who asked to wait until the actual evidence came out, and they said that a lot of people were saying, like, look, I don't regret saying that because I waited for him to make a statement, and now I have passed my judgment on what happened. But they weren't willing to, throw the baby out with the bathwater just because people were making accusations. But now it seems more clear because of the statement that he's made.
And now, if he weren't aware that this person was underage, that would make it a totally different situation.
I don't know how you
But if that were the case, he would have said, I was unaware that they were a minor. If that were the case, he would have said that. I'm pretty confident that he would say that to clear his name, but he didn't. And I think that I want to caution against scapegoating Dr. Disrespect for the massive problem of child exploitation that has been going on Twitch, even on the public platform, for years now. And that's a way bigger issue than just him. So a former Twitch employee followed this up yesterday saying, I don't think most people have an idea of how bad things were behind the scenes at Twitch. I worked in the department that had access to the most data and information. I saw private whispers, etc. It was literally my job to investigate daily. I saw things every single day that I wish I never had to see. I always advocated for being a good human, always expressed with heavy emotion on my streams how Twitch let PDF files run free every day. I signed an NDA and afraid to get in trouble, but I have to say something. It's been bothering me for so long. These sick Fs don't deserve to be free.
I was under the assumption that no NDA covers criminal behavior.
I think so too, but clearly he is outing the fact that there was a child exploitation problem. But I mean, this has also been public information since Bloomberg put out that huge report about the problem of child exploitation on Twitch back in 2022. Yeah. And we talked about that. And it's the sexual streams that are being aimed at children, that are accessible to children on the platform. It's the private messaging features. It's the fact that minors are allowed to stream on Twitch and then there are forums of PDF files that send each other links to the streams of minors so that they can go flood their chats and encourage them to do sexual things.
Yeah, Jesus.
And the problem goes much deeper than just Dr. Disrespect messaged a 17-year-old in 2017. It goes much further than that, and that's what people are missing.
There's a lot of details that are very hard here. For the first part is that I'm leaping to the conclusion that at some point it got sexual by their own admission. Is like how, because on Twitch typically there's not even profile pictures. There's just the names of the people. Is like, how does this conversation even begin? You know what I mean?
Right. It seems like the feature was the problem.
Also, like, how would you know if it's a girl unless pictures were shared?
I'm just saying, like, he hasn't released the chat logs, so we don't know what he said or what she said. But
I mean, in fairness, no one would.
Yeah, of course, because it would make him look terrible. And not even to mention, obviously, this guy isn't a criminal, but he is a POS for what he did. Not even to mention the fact that this is a married man with children doing this. Yeah, this is not the first time, as you told me, that he has been admittedly cheating on his wife. That's just wild that people are saying this is cancel culture. The term has no meaning anymore if this falls under it.
Yeah. And I'm sure more stuff will come out about this. The amount, like, my whole Twitter feed yesterday was people talking about this, and most of it was going back and forth on people's judgments on what all of this means. I think it is scarier to think about just the amount of access that, people that are acting untoward have towards minors. And like you said, if there's no information on Twitch about any of this stuff, does Whispers even still exist? Is that feature still exist?
Yeah, it's like the DM.
Is it? Yeah.
Okay, just the DMs.
There's a $20 one there from W Nanners.
He said, why did Twitch pay out Doc? Why was it Doc who sued Twitch, not the other way around? There's a lot missing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like, we don't know what went on privately in that civil dispute. However, he probably got a payout because they banned him for alleged criminal wrongdoing, and they found that it was not criminal.
But this is what I'm saying. I mean, clearly something inappropriate happened, but I don't know if we can. I don't know.
I also saw people talking about like, okay, so Twitch is now proving to be like a net negative for Amazon, and that this situation could end up being what like causes Amazon to just cut bait with Twitch.
Maybe. Yeah. But who would buy it?
Yeah.
Who would buy Twitch at this point? Who would want this mess on their hands?
I mean, the platform works really well. So if you think about the platform as software, the software is really good. But the thing about the issue with Twitch is that they have no backbone. They have no backbone, and when they ceded their identity from being gamer streaming to whatever stupid opportunist can come here and use the great software, that's when it started to go sour. And that's the issue. I think that Twitch should make a terms of services and kind of like a mission statement of what the platform is intended to be, if it's for gamers, by gamers, or if it's like real life content and whatever. And they have to have their rules and enforce them. But they're just so flippant about it that they have literal prostitutes writing their names.
Yeah. They can't decide what kind of content they want. It
seems like nobody changes their terms of service more than Twitch.
Right, which just shows that it's chaos behind the scenes.
They change their terms of services, and then people immediately try to, in this platform more than any other, immediately try to test the limits of it, and then they go immediately back on their restriction.
Someone in the chat said that minors should stop, they should stop allowing minors on the platform, which I think is a huge part of the solution. They're not willing to do it.
They should,
because they're in it for the money, obviously.
5 more states just put like age verification requirements on Pornhub,
right?
So it's going to stop operating in like 5 more states. Now,
right?
I pointed
Interesting how they completely shut down operation in those states instead of just following the law.
They need to ban
these. On top of that, Ron DeSantis is banning people under the age of 14 from all social media platforms in Florida starting in January next year, which is also a great start, but not the ultimate solution.
What is the age of consent, of use on Twitter? 13?
It's probably 13.
Is it like that's the
I think it's 13.
That's the age to use Twitter?
There's like hardcore
it's
porn
13 on most of these platforms.
Twitter openly brags now about the influence of porn on their website.
Not only that, but there was a Wall Street Journal report on Instagram relatively recently as well, where they started new accounts that were identified as under 18s, all 13-year-old accounts, that were immediately being fed the most hypersexualized content as soon as they opened the app.
Yeah.
By the way, okay, that's fucked up. But back to the Twitch. Twitch does not need to ban minors. Twitch needs to ban all the obvious, hot tub titty streamers. They need to stop beating around the bush about it. It's porn. It's softcore pornography.
I agree, but
they need to ban it.
That's more difficult to enforce. That's more difficult to enforce because where are you going to draw the line if there's so many gray areas that people can say, "Hey, I just wore a low-cut top and I got banned because."
I mean, when you're doing ASMR where you're emulating sexual sounds while exposing your breasts, I know it's kind of that quote. I know it when I see it, but it is. It is.
But that objectively is more difficult to enforce than you just can't be on this platform if you're under 18.
We'll make it for video games and then make some rules and put them on paper about. Listen, I'm not saying enforce a dress code, but maybe you do.
I would be pro that, but it's not going to go down well for them.
Okay, so if you don't want to do it, force a dress code, then don't do it. But what I'm saying is make the rules and stand by them. But the biggest rule has to be no explicit sexual content. And I'm sure some people will stick around and they'll protest and whatever, but stand by what you are. It used to be for gamers. I don't know why it's a campsite now.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely shouldn't promote that content.
They do promote it. I never click on these things. And
it's always on the homepage.
Always, and on the left hand side, it's the accounts you see the most, and on the bottom it's like some similar accounts. And I was like, oh, let me watch. I want to watch some Elden Ring, and I clicked, and it was just a chick with her tits out, and it like not playing Elden Ring at all. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. Ultimately, I would just say this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the problems on Twitch, especially involving children on the app.
by the way, I'm not saying. I mean, you know, the weird thing about this generation is that it's so hard to have like a decent moral middle ground, because fuck you if you think I'm white knighting. The truth is, there is a lot of women hate, like, on the internet, and
Dane does most of it.
I do a fair amount of it. And listen, it's my market. No, but for real, there is a lot of chick hate on the internet, because I mean, some chicks are dumb as shit. But like, even still, some people do it really maliciously, and they leech onto it, and they hold on to it, and they mass report chicks that they have no business doing, and they send inappropriate messages, and that's wrong. That's wrong. And so please take this call to action about removing like the obvious like sexual exploitative content. There's gonna be hot chicks looking hot playing video games, that's fine. But if they're just playing the game and not being like, oh, if I get 50 super chats, I'm gonna do a little sexy dance where I check my tum-tum. It's like, how is this not obvious?
Yeah.
Anyway, wait, this Rifter from Dr. Disrespect. Sus. Dude, this is like the second time you've been caught like doing inappropriate shit. Stick to the games and making millions.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.